Eventually, they're going to settle down.
Leonard's mouth is bleeding at the moment.
There is some blood on the lower lip. It may be that his teeth were driven into the front of his mouth.
And it also could be a head.
And it is bothering Ray Leonard. There's no question about that.
Good jab to finish the round.
Well, Duran looked a lot better that round.
I need more jams. Okay, when you do this side, don't tuck up right here. Come on up, get your side, slide right back out. Okay, a little more body. Give me something faster. Water bucket. Finish your mouth. Don't go waste the mouth right there. Keep still, baby. Keep still. There we go. Okay. Apretado ahora. Anótale con el jab. ¿Me entiendes? Yeah. Y empieza a buscar esa derecha. Empieza a buscar esa derecha. Oíste, compa. Con toda la hora, prométeme.
Richie Sandoval, what were they telling Duran?
They're telling Roberto to put more pressure and then come out with the right hand. You know, lead off with the right.
Into round number 5.
You know, this may help. The fact that Leonard is bleeding may help Duran psychologically, because Leonard was playing games with his mind, but now Roberto sees that there is some damage to Ray Leonard. Might give him a little pep.
Well, you know what's bad, though? Leonard's getting away with a lot of dirty tactics right now by putting the arms down on Roberto's head every time he gets in close, and the referee is not seeing it. That's the old Ali tricks.
And in Leonard's corner, they complained to the referee that Duran butted him. That's what caused that cut inside his mouth.
Well, I think it may well have, but as I recall the incident, both heads came together. I don't think there was any intention at all.
Oh, absolutely
an intentional butt.
Well, Duran is definitely trying to put the pressure on Leonard now.
Again, Mark, there's going to be some time in this fight when they're going to settle down and fight. Then we'll see. Meanwhile, Leonard can steal these rounds, and the blood is streaming out of Leonard's mouth right now.
And it is probably bothering Leonard right now.
Leonard is going to have to get a little bit more aggressive. He's moving around. And now he threw a big right here, but missed by a mile. He has to remember that left jab. That's Leonard's key weapon right at the moment.
Richard Steele warning Duran for hitting on the break, and now stopping time to have tape repair on the left glove of Ray Leonard.
Okay. Tim, we were talking about the crowd reaction. I think the crowd right now is swayed to Roberto Duran's side. A lot of booing that time when referee Richard Steele stopped it.
Well, Leonard, now you know he will settle down now, because now he's starting to try to punch the bigger man.
Leonard is a pretty tough kid. Gets right down to the nitty-gritty. I expect Ray to stay in there and throw those combinations. Now you can hear the crowd again. Duran.
Duran could want this here fight too much. That it tightens you up.
Very little offensive movement on Ray Leonard's part at the moment.
Well, and Duran, for his part, has been very patient during the first 4 rounds, it seems to me, expecting what he's seeing and letting Ray circle and move.
Well, Duran's been look like he's been concentrating more on the body. And as again, you can see both guys are missing shots that they never would have missed before.
Well, 38 and 33 will do that to you, Marvin. End of round number 5.
I would suggest to you, Barry McGuigan, that was the best round of the fight so far for Roberto Duran.
Yeah, he's getting closer to the mark, but he's still well short. And the problem is that Leonard has won the first 5 rounds handsomely. He's just that little bit sharper and quicker. And the one thing that Duran has lost is the speed in his legs, speed of foot.
What's the problem in the mouth there? Seems to be from that clash of heads in the previous round, 4.
He's cut inside the mouth, but that's not a problem. You know, they're using the swab to stop it. They'll use adrenaline to clot the blood and stop the cut. So it's not a problem.
Can Duran stay patient for long enough to get his shot at Leonard?
That's what he has to do. Whether he can do it or not at the age of 38 is another thing. I just think he's showing his age, Paul.
Leonard in command so far.
Absolutely.
Here's the next round coming now.
One difference.
I'll tell you one thing, that rule from Jersey would work good tonight, because then their hands would stay warm, because it's cold.
Eddie Aliano having to do work on the mouth of Ray Leonard. We're into round 6, scheduled for 12.
And for the first time, really, Duran got the range with his jabs.
Well, I think maybe the blood coming out of Leonard's mouth can help. You see?
Ray slipped. Took a left, but he slipped as the blow landed.
Ray is going to have to get back and do a little more offensively. He's letting Duran pull him around, chase him around the ring.
Duran wants this more than anything. You could feel it. You see it in his eyes.
Duran, they're really trying to close him to the corner. Ray tied him up effectively.
He wants to knock Ray out. But you can't do it one shot.
Ray is very, very hesitant. I think he's very conscious of that cut lip.
Yeah, it's bothering him. Look at the holder behind the head.
A warning from Richard Steele for that.
Well, he also told Duran, protect yourself at all times.
This part of the ring, Leonard always seems like he has a little
Good left hook by Ray Leonard. Good left hook counter.
Right hand lead landed by Leonard. Duran ties him up.
He's going to have to start throwing some punches, Tim. See, Leonard, it's you know, Duran is pressing Leonard, but every time Leonard feints, Duran stops. I mean, he's not exactly the most aggressive guy in the world. He's giving the impression that he is.
Landed a left to the body. Leonard circled out of the corner easily. Now Duran sits in there, hoping to
nice
draw him
combination
in.
by Leonard. Good left hook.
Good left hook. Good right
Another
uppercut.
left. So Duran gambled there and lost, and now Leonard picks up the pace. A good left and a right behind it.
And he thinks he has Duran hurt. Well, I told you, Tim, that he's settled down eventually, and he has.
Duran trying to tie him up.
This is what Duran wants to fight, but he's not doing nothing. This is the right way to fight, Leonard. Now you give Leonard this much rest back.
Right hand by Leonard. A left to the body. Counter from Duran. That got Ray's attention.
He nailed Duran with another right hand.
And then the bolo here, punching on the break. And a right hand lead
by Leonard. And Duran is not punching back.
A smile from Duran will not get it done. End of round 6.
I believe that no mask really affected Duran.
In what way, Mark?
I think he really don't like Leonard, and he's all tight. He wants to kill him, but he can't do anything about it.
You haven't said anything. Vamos a buscarnos la pechucha. Estamos en mejor condición que él. Estamos muy atrás ya. Vamos para adelante ahora. Robert, ¿está bien? Vamos para adelante ahora, Robert. Vamos para adelante, que no es más fucking macho que tú.
Right hand lead by Leonard. We'll have Richie Sandoval tell us what they're saying to Duran. Carlos Hibbert complained to Richard Steele about the refereeing. And there's the bolo with...
But that was a foul, Tim. And Richard Steele warned him, and properly, because he look at him pull Roberto's head down. And then that Ray Leonard is a tough guy.
Carlos Hibbert yelling at referee Steele, who did warn Leonard. Now, Richie Sandoval, what did they tell Duran?
Hibbert was yelling at Roberto, telling him, come on, we're behind right now. We're way behind right now. We got to get going. We got to get something started.
Well, Hibbert agrees with us. We've got Leonard comfortably ahead at this point into round 7.
I think Duran is not fighting the fight that he really wants to.
Very half-hearted left hook to the body by Roberto Duran.
Tim Ryan with Gil Clancy, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, former bantamweight champion of the world Richie Sandoval, helping us with the Spanish translation.
So far, this fight has gone exactly the way Ray Leonard planned it. Frustrate him, score points. When you catch him off, nail him with a couple of good punches.
He's letting Ray do just what he wants to do out there.
Do you know, every time Leonard feints, Duran stops. So he's not really the aggressor that you think he is.
Right, and then Leonard will come up with a quick punch.
Has Duran exactly where he wants him, right in the range that he wants him at the moment.
You wonder now if Duran wondered if he's getting old.
Well, you know, he can get old all of a sudden in there, Marv.
Of course he can.
And again, he took all that weight off in a hurry. Nobody to blame for that but himself.
No, the money.
It's half-hearted punches by Roberto Duran at the moment. Maybe he's trying to lull Ray Leonard to sleep.
It appears that Eddie Aliano, the cut man, has done a good job in stopping the flow of blood inside the mouth of Ray Leonard. Not apparent here in round 7.
Well, Eddie Aliano is one of the best in the business.
Well, Leonard gets in trouble now when he stops in that. It stays there too long. You know, and he gets tapped on the chin. His legs seem to wobble a little bit now.
Good left hook by Leonard.
Duran is throwing half-hearted punches now, Tim. Do you notice that?
Maybe he don't want
Yes, he's landing them, but without a lot of sting, and now we must question the stamina factor of how much strength was given up in getting down to the weight.
That was a nice sucker punch in there. He drawed him in, caught Leonard with a nice left hook.
Solid jab by Duran. Now a little blood again from the mouth of Ray Leonard.
Right here is where you shouldn't let Leonard get that rest.
Duran throw one punch and grab, and Leonard out punches him again.
Good combination by Leonard, snapping the head back of Duran. Sneak right fell short. Final seconds of round 7.
Duran is progressively looking older, Tim.
Yeah.
We have Leonard ahead. 5 rounds for Duran to change the course of the fight. Frank Bruno, Leonard doing a good job, quicker and dominating.
Yeah, I think father's time's caught up with Duran. I'm sad to say that, but the father's time is just one split second behind, you know. And it's sad to see a legend like this go out, but that's life and that's cricket.
He doesn't seem to be sparking quite as much as we would have hoped.
From when he first come out, we all said that he just didn't seem that spark. We could all make excuses and all that, but Leonard's just one step ahead of him all the time, you know, everything he does.
We're still looking, though, the possibility of one big one landing from Duran.
Yeah, all the sort of like people that don't like Leonard's sort of like style, he's flashing and dropping his hands, always waiting for that one big punch, but he just won, just a shade ahead all the time.
Okay, let's get back.
Pretty to watch, you know, very pretty to watch.
Leonard dominating so far. Let's get back to ringside.
Round number 8, scheduled for 12. Ray Leonard remarked after the first fight in Montreal that the eyes of Roberto Duran reminded him of Charles Manson, a scary character of that era, now still in jail for a mass murder. But Roberto Duran, as Gil pointed out, showing the age as one would expect he would at age 38, but he summoned up quite a lot at age 37 against Barkley.
Big right hand by Sugar Ray Leonard. What, Roberto coming in
and right then, that's when Duran should have jumped back in the fight. He's losing the fight now because he's getting tagged and he's letting Leonard build up his confidence.
Tell you, Marv, after Ray Leonard that right hand, I looked at the canvas to see if Roberto was down. Didn't wobble. Nothing happened except he just doesn't have any fire, Roberto.
It does seem like Roberto really don't want to be in there now.
Which is hard to believe. Those eyes are not there that Ray Leonard described. And yet to hear Duran in preparation for this fight, it meant everything to him. The redemption from New Orleans. The infamous no mas.
Again, Tim, the only shot Roberto Duran has in this fight is to land a good, solid punch and really hurt Ray Leonard. He's got no chance to win a decision. In my opinion.
Duran tries to grab with the left hand to see whether he's going to punch or not. by him standing there, hesitate, Leonard is punching and moving. He should